Once upon a time, in the far-off kingdom of everyday life, there lived two neighbors, both named Bob. Oddly enough, both Bobs were blessed by God in their own peculiar ways. The first Bob was your typical Bob, known for his luck at football matches. Every time he placed a bet, he'd win. Sometimes a small amount, sometimes a staggering sum that allowed him to buy more copies of the inexplicable velvet Elvis portraits he loved so much. The village folks called him Lucky Bob. Legend had it that Lucky Bob was so blessed that umbrellas opened for him autonomously whenever rain fell, even if he forgot them at home. On the other side of the hedge dwelled Bob, whom everyone called Profound Bob. Profound Bob possessed an altogether different sort of blessing. It wasn't measured in velvet Elvis portraits, nor did it enrich his football betting. Instead, Profound Bob was gifted with a mind that was razor-sharp and deep enough to dissect life's great mysteries, yet strangely dense enough to occasionally misplace his keys in the fridge. The Bobs met up every Wednesday at the local pub. Lucky Bob would boast about the luckiest string of fortunate events with an air of bravado. Profound Bob would nod, stir his tea, and offer reflections on the meaning of life. One day, during their usual Wednesday meeting at the pub, Lucky Bob had an epiphany about his blessing. He noticed Profound Bob pondering over the nature of blessings with intense concentration, eyes fixed upon an innocuous cucumber. "You see, old chap," Profound Bob started, "being blessed by God is like being that cucumber." Lucky Bob squinted at the cucumber. "How's that profound?" he asked. Profound Bob explained, "The cucumber doesn't choose to be a cucumber, just as we don't choose our blessings. They're bestowed upon us, whether ludicrous, like your Elvis portraits, or contemplative, like dissecting reality itself." Lucky Bob thought, then chuckled. "So my Elvis portraits are the cucumbers of blessings?" Profound Bob nodded, satisfied that wisdom had transferred. The villagers often wondered who was truly blessed, but Lucky Bob, now more philosophical, would sport his Elvis portraits with newfound appreciation. "Ah, bless," he'd say, tipping his hat to the bitter winds. Profound Bob would stroll back to his lodgings, wondering what philosophical fruit he'd contemplate next. And that's what it meant, in the land of everyday life, to be blessed by God, however eccentric it might appear.